first saw you, I close my eyes and the flashback starts. I'm standing there on a balcony in summer air. See the lights, see the party, the ball gowns. See you make your way through the crowd and say hello. Little did I know that you were Romeo, you were throwing pebbles, and my daddy said and you're already late. A no smoking sign on your cigarette break. It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. It's meeting the man of my dreams and then meeting his beautiful wife. And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? A little too ironic. And yeah, I really do think it's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride on your already paid. It's the good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it life is a funny way of sneaking up on you. Life is a funny, funny way of helping you out, helping you out. I know I can't take one more step towards you, 'cause all that's waiting is regret. And don't you know I'm not your ghost anymore? You lost the love I loved the most. I learned to live half alive, and now you want me one more time. And who do you think you are, running around leaving scars, collecting your
what you want, but not what you need. When you feel so tired, but you can't sleep, stuck in reverse, and the tears come streaming down your face. When you lose something you can't replace, when you love someone but it goes to waste, could it be worse? Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you. And high up above or down below, when you're too in love to let it go. But if you never try, you'll never know just what you Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you. Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you.
It's not simple to say. And most days I don't recognize me. That these shoes and this apron, that place and its patrons have taken more than I gave. used to be mine. truth is plain to see. She was sent to rescue me. I see who I wanna be in my daughter's eyes. In my daughter's eyes, everyone is equal. Darkness turns to light, and the world is at peace. This miracle God gave to me gives me strength when I'm weak. I find reason to believe in my daughter's eyes. And when she wraps her hand around my finger, and puts a smile in my heart, everything becomes a little clearer. I realize what life is all about. It's hanging on when your heart has had enough. It's giving more when you feel like giving up. I've seen the light. It's in my daughter's eyes. In my daughter's eyes, I can see the future, a reflection of who I am and what will be. And though she'll grow and someday leave, maybe raise a family, when I'm gone, I hope you'll see how happy she made me. For I'll be there in my daughter's
Made a wrong turn once or twice, dug my way out, blood and fire, bad decisions, that's alright. Welcome to my silly life. Mistreated, this place misunderstood, misnowing it's so good, it didn't slow me down. Mistaken, always second guessing, underestimated, look I'm still around. Pretty, pretty please, don't you ever, ever feel
Hello, friends. That light on stage is to pretend that I'm up there giving a speech, but I'm actually up in the booth because I need to be up here for a variety of reasons. Those of you who are joining us in person, we also have people joining us virtually, so thank you for being here. Those of you joining us virtually, the program and the link to the Children's Tumor Foundation are in the chat. So if you want to meet our creative team, or if you want to help keep finding a cure and helping people, you can donate to the Children's Tumor Foundation link fundraiser. Those of you who paid at the door, thank you so much. That will go straight to the Children's Tumor Foundation, and we appreciate your donation. I don't think I said my name. I ran up here too quickly. My name is Jessica Lopez-Barkle. I am the theater program director for SUNY Sullivan, and I'm so excited to finally show you this piece that we have been working on, and we were supposed to premiere in May 2020. We started writing it in September 2019 for reasons that you'll find out in the play itself. And it has been a journey. So we are so excited to have real people. Even though it's a small audience, you are an important audience, and we really appreciate that you're here with us. We also recognize there are people who are watching virtually who maybe can't come to our theater right now, and we're so happy to be able to provide you with that ability. With that said, we are also continuing to work on this piece. It is a workshop production, which you will see tonight. We are focused on the script and making it as good as possible so that it can be taken to other venues, potentially other conferences, symposiums, so that we can continue to spread awareness about neurofibromatosis and to help bring awareness toward people with disabilities, with people with disorders, and make the world a more aware and mindful place. You, in the audience, can help that. If you are able to stay after and talk with us about the production and what you noticed and how we can continue to improve it, we would greatly appreciate it. Docu-dramas are not a new genre. They've been around for a long time, but a docu-drama where the end is unknown is a complicated problem when you're writing. And so we want to make sure to honor that and also make sure that it's still entertaining. It still does the job that we hope that it does to spread awareness and to tell a beautiful story that Brianna and Jana have created. But ultimately, it's problematic, so we need your help. So please pay attention and have good critical ears and critical love for us at the end if you can. Thank you so much for being here. I know some of you traveled quite a distance, so I'm very happy to have you in the audience. And thank you and enjoy the show.
Hi, my name is Brianna Warden. I'm 8 years old and I'm from upstate New York. I was wondering, why am I different from everyone in my family? Why am I the only one who has tumors? Why did God make me different? Did I do something wrong?
Monster.
Freak.
Soft skin.
I thought you started chemo already.
Are you really sick?
You look really pale.
Why did you cut and take the color out of your hair?
Did you know there's something wrong with your arm?
Oh, are you a burn victim?
Do you have Ebola?
Do you have MRSA?
Do you have COVID-19?
Should you be parking there?
I thought you were getting your arm amputated.
Yeah, what's with that?
World's ugliest man, biggest tumor. If you don't forward this, you'll have bad luck.
If you're going to call me a name, you should call me Mutant, or call me cockroach.
Ugh,
Those are the only names I'll go by.
I hate those names.
But it's foreshadowing.
I had brought her to an orthopedic locally, and he took off her shirt to examine her, and he saw all these spots on her body that we now know are called cafe au lait spots. And he said, does she have neurofibromatosis?
I'll never forget sitting in the pediatrician's office, and he took out his pen and he started counting the cafe au lait spots. And I knew immediately that he was going to tell me something was wrong. And he did. He said, I think your daughter has neurofibromatosis.
Neurofibromatosis, or NF as it's commonly known, is a group of 3 disorders. NF can cause tumours to grow pretty much anywhere in the nervous system. And in addition to that, it can cause bone abnormalities, bone dysplasia. What that really means is that the cells in the body are cycling out of control. The cells that are causing tumours are dividing too many times. They're growing and growing and growing. I always think of those freeway signs, that the exits and the entrances that say one car can enter at a time. What happens in your body in NF is that the cars are just going and going and going. That's happening inside the cell.
So the surgeries I've had have been, I guess, pretty major surgeries. The first one was to remove the tumor on my left auditory nerve, which left me deaf in my left ear. And a couple of years after that, I had surgery on my left optical nerve, which left me blind in that eye and left the muscle for the eyelid paralyzed as well.
Well, the mission of the Children's Tumor Foundation has 4 parts. First and foremost, we are a research organization. We fund research, of which we are the largest non-government funder of NF research in the world, but we also promote research by others. And now really working with pharmaceutical companies to get them to work on therapeutics for NF. On our website, we have a discussion board with over 200,000 postings about NF. We offer chat rooms that really are used worldwide. Patient support. We work through our chapters and affiliates nationwide to create a series of patient support and symposia. And then lastly, to support NF clinics.
Well, NF is about 1 in every 3,000 births. Having a foundation where you can talk to literally hundreds or thousands of people, and everyone, because they understand what you're going through, is very eager and willing to help you out.
I think what we're really trying to do is to really empower people to devote themselves to what we're doing and to really get behind the Children's Tumor Foundation in their stewardship. Because what it means is we're not just asking for their money, but we're asking them to believe in what we're doing and to dedicate their time, their talent, and their treasure to our purpose. And the day that we find a cure, who knows whose dollar it is that's going to find that. Hopefully that somebody who gives that money is going to really call it their legacy. They helped cure neurofibromatosis. What did you do in your lifetime?
I'm confident that when they find a cure for neurofibromatosis or find treatment for it, it's going to be because of the Children's Tumor Foundation.
That day was the start of it all. The beginning of our mask wearing, and I don't mean our COVID masks. Some of you have been wearing masks for a little over 2 years. Brianna and I have been wearing masks for 25 years. Together, Brianna and I have made it part of our life's mission to teach as many as we could about her disorder, while at the same time fight for a cure. What I didn't realize was that by taking on this role, Brianna and I would be forced to hide our emotions from the rest of the world in order to protect them from the seriously depressing circumstances
that we have faced together.
"2 months. An orthopedic suggests that Brianna has neurofibromatosis. I was less than her age. 23. When my world came crashing down. You see, Bree was just 2 months old at the time. I was detached and full of anxiety. You see, that I had been saying that there was something wrong with her from the moment that she was born. And then one night, after having begged her pediatrician for an x-ray, he called me to tell me that Brianna had a spiral fracture to her left upper arm. He said he reported me to Child Protective Services and that they would be contacting me. I fought for weeks to get the pediatrician to tell me what was wrong, to order x-rays, and now I was being brought up on child abuse charges, which is so ironic considering I work for them now. I look at Brianna today and she still seems so young and so naive. But the reality is, it's like looking in the mirror.
Dr. P? Dr. P? Dr. P, hi, I'm really sorry to bother you, but can we please talk for a couple of minutes? I know you're not working and you want to watch your son
okay?
practices. I'm not sure.
You're shaking.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I appreciate you taking a minute to speak with me. This is my baby, Brianna.
Well, she's beautiful and perfect. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. Wait, no, please, wait, please. Yes, that's what everybody keeps saying, that she's beautiful, and I think that she is the most beautiful baby, but there's something wrong. You see, she was born with all of these spots, and her left arm is completely different in color from the rest of her body, and then the nurses and the doctors at the hospital told me that there's nothing wrong, and that she is perfect, and it's just newborn discoloration, and then the pediatrician tried to convince me that she is perfect, and I am just looking for something to be wrong, and then I found these lumps in her left arm, and then I begged him to give me a referral for an x-ray, and then he wouldn't until one lump turned into 3 lumps, and he gave it to me, but then he called me at 11 p.m. last night to tell me she has a spiral fracture, and that she needs to follow up with a pediatric orthopedist, but he never gave me the reference for one, and then he told me that Child Protective Services would likely be visiting us. She has never fallen. I had a 23-hour labor with her, and I pushed her for 4 hours. So could it be that her arm broke in delivery, that these are calcium deposits, bone spurs? What are these lumps? Who do I take her to? I have been saying that there is something wrong since the day she was born.
Oh, okay. First of all, I need you to take a breath and relax. I am not a pediatric orthopedic, but I do have colleagues who can help. Why don't you let me take a look at her? You mentioned she has birthmarks?
Yes, do you want to look at her right here?
Can you show me?
Yes, right.
All right. Did you get a copy of the x-rays?
No.
Did you have them done at the hospital?
I had it done at the hospital, but I didn't know I could get a copy of it.
I mean, yes, it may cost you $10, but I want you to go to the hospital now and get a copy of the x-ray. And then can you meet me at my office this afternoon, say around 1?
Yes.
All right. I want my partner to look at Brianna with me. We're going to help you.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you. I'll go get that copy. See you at 1.
Hi. Thanks for picking up those x-rays. I'm going to take them into another room for a few minutes so that I can get a good look at them. Is it okay if I have my partner take them as well?
Of course, whoever can help. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. If you could get her undressed down to a diaper, I'll be back in a minute to examine her. Okay?
Thank you.
Hi, Jana.
Hi.
So my partner and I took a look at those x-rays, and he shares in my concerns.
I could hear you talking, and I don't understand. What is wrong with my baby?
I'm sorry, Jana. Has anyone in your family ever had birthmarks like these or problems with tumors?
No. I've never seen them on anyone before, and that's why I'm so concerned. Tumors? Did you say tumors? Does she have tumors? Because I have a cousin who had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I had an aunt who had breast cancer. My nephew died, and no one knows why. What are you saying? What do you think she has?
No, it is not cancer. I think Brianna has neurofibromatosis.
What?
It's a genetic disorder that can cause tumors on the nerves of the body. One of the symptoms is all of the birthmarks she has and skin discoloration. I think that these lumps in her arms are the beginning of some tumors. I can't tell without an MRI. What we can tell on the x-ray is that her arm is not fractured. The bone on her left arm is concave on both sides, and these markings are more than likely from the neurofibromas or tumors that are developing in the arm. I would like you to take a look and follow up with my colleague at Westchester Medical Center. He is a pediatric orthopedic. We are also going to help you organize appointments with a genetic counselor and a pediatric neurologist in Westchester. We will also contact Child Protective Services to let them know that they were misinformed.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you for everything. You know, the pediatrician mentioned some disorder, but he said that she can't have it because her father and I don't have it. I'm sorry. I wonder if this is what he was talking about. Can you please write that for me again? It's what?
Neurofibromatosis.
Neurofibromatosis.
There you go.
Thank you. I'm sorry. What do I expect? Is she going to die?
Unfortunately, there are no two cases of neurofibromatosis that are identical. It is very difficult to say what life will bring. Some people have very few complications, but others have many complications. I think it's best to see what the specialist has to say. I would avoid doing too much research on your own. There is a lot of frightening information out there. This isn't going to be easy, but we are here to help you with whatever you need.
Thank you. Okay.
This little penny is to love on, and where love is, heaven is there. So if you have 5 pennies and they're these 5 pennies, you'll be a millionaire.
was told not to look anything up, to let the experts teach me about NF. I couldn't help myself. I needed to get as much information as I possibly could, and that was a mistake. Remember this? Back in 1997? Imagine millennials having to wait for this now. I read things like
3 types: NF1, NF2, and schwannomatosis, also called von Recklinghausen's disease, a genetic disorder that causes the growth of tumors on the nerves.
this disease can also affect the skin and cause bone deformities.
May cause tumors in the brain, can lead to blindness and deafness.
Joseph Merrick, known as the Elephant Man. Remember him? Suffered from von Recklinghausen's disease. At least that's what the 1990s internet had to say.
Disfigured, a monster, pain, seizures.
Elephant Man was found dead, in his hospital asphyxiated due to a neck dislocation from a bone deformity.
Neurofibromatosis. 50% of having patients with learning disabilities.
Neurofibromatosis and cancer. Neurofibromatosis and death average 8 to 15 years younger than the healthy human, with the exception of those with plexiform neurofibromas.
Plexiform neurofibromas become cancerous. Plexiform neurofibromas are inoperable tumors that cause severe pain.
Loss of limbs, disfigurement, death. Neurofibromatosis worsens with age, the onset of puberty, and pregnancy.
50% chance of passing the NF gene to each affected patient's offspring. No treatment. No cure. My beautiful baby is going to grow into a freak, a monster, and she's going to die.
Crazy.
6 months old. Yes, that is me.
She's a cutie.
My diagnosis of neurofibromatosis type 1 was confirmed with genetic testing.
10 to 24 months, we were sent from Westchester, New York, to Tulane University to the top specialist, yes, in New Orleans, and we were followed there for 2 years. I am very pregnant for twins, who are also responsible for starting the show late tonight.
You're silly. And at age 2, while visiting Tulane, an MRI was performed. Hear that? The physician entered the exam room, explained the results, and told my mom that I needed to have as much of my tumor removed as possible.
It wasn't until this year, 23 years later, 2022, that I happened to find a copy of that original MRI result, and it stated high potential for development of cancer of the chest wall tumor. This is the cancer that almost killed her, and they not only knew about it when she was 2, but...
Mom?
What?
You're skipping the whole timeline.
I know, but it really pissed me off.
We'll get to that. Just wait.
Sorry.
You can continue now.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. Back to the visit. The surgeon did explain to us that Brianna has to have this surgery or she will die. Then he said she will lose the function of her left arm and she may become paralyzed. He followed this by stating that he would send the nurse in to schedule the surgery, and then he said nothing else. He just walked out of the room. And so did we.
On a flight back home, the Angel Flight pilot referred us to Boston Children's Hospital. My mom contacted the NF clinic there and we were told not to let anyone operate on me, so the exact opposite of what we were just told.
Brianna was subsequently scheduled to meet with the NF team in the Neurofibromatosis clinic at Boston Children's Hospital.
Still age 2.
Long time though, 2 years.
I was evaluated at Boston Children's Hospital. The NF team continued to follow me to monitor my eyes, my ears, and perform full body MRIs. This. Which, as some of my fellow NFers know, that this can take up to 4 to 5 hours. Imagine hearing this sound on repeat for 4 to 5 hours. Unless they mess up and you gotta start all over again.
Fun times for me when you were little and they'd sedate you and I had to sit next to you and listen to that for 4 to 5 hours. You were sleeping.
Now it's even more fun when I can't be sedated, so I'm awake the entire time and I can't move for hours, but we need to get back on track,
Sorry.
okay? Thank
You're better
you.
at that than I am.
Can I go now?
You can. Go ahead.
My mom had to meet with the genetic counselor, and around this time, I was found to have severely enlarged tonsils and adenoids. I had a tonsillectomy and an adenoidectomy, and during my post-op, my blood pressure was very high. I was diagnosed with high blood pressure and renal artery stenosis by age 2. So fun fact about me, I've been swallowing blood pressure medication since the age of 2, learned with mini M&Ms. My high blood pressure was caused by a malformation of my kidneys. I was diagnosed with renal artery stenosis and a deformed left kidney. After my most recent surgery, that kidney now looks like a California raisin.
At one point, it looked like a shrunken avocado.
Well, I think my kidney's pretty cute, so
I
thanks.
think it's adorable, and it'll be even cuter when I give you one of mine.
She thinks she's funny.
I am. 2 to 5 years. Brianna's twin brothers are born early. I was told that the second one, Brandon, would not make it. I was induced and delivered the first one, Robert, vaginally, which stopped the labor for the second one and then stopped Brandon's heart as well. Brandon and I were taken in for an emergency C-section. I feel like I'm dying. I want to fight for Brandon and his twin brother Robert and of course Brianna. I can't die. They need me. I meet them for the first time in a Polaroid photo.
They're really cute though.
They were 2 pounds. Not even. Brandon was just under 2 pounds. They spent 2 months in the NICU while Brianna and I continued to be followed by the NF team, this time at Albany Med because I had to transfer her care there to keep the boys in the NICU in Albany Med and take care of her at the same time. We spent 2 months alone at the Ronald McDonald House. We watched as other children with cancer went in for treatments and surgeries. Many did not return. Many did not survive. I pumped breast milk alone. I went to the NICU alone. I went to Brianna's appointments alone. I must keep fighting for all of them. She continued yearly MRIs and was then monitored by the renal department for her kidney function and her hypertension. By age 5, we discovered scoliosis, or curvature of her spine was beginning. She was referred to an orthopedic. This is her actual spine.
6 to 7 years. I continue to be followed by my NF team for my eyes, my genetics, MRIs, kidneys, and orthopedics, because I'm a robot. By age 7, despite bracing and lots of physical therapy, my scoliosis worsened. I needed surgery. I had a spinal fusion of, can we show them please?
We can show them.
Thank you. C3 to T11. I'm like the Terminator. 18 hours in surgery. So what does that mean? Diaper time.
Oh, Bree.
I mean, because some doctors had to diaper up for me.
You watch too much Grey's Anatomy.
That's all you. They had to fuse both sides of my spine. They went in through my side, the side of my chest. I had a chest tube. And in the middle of the night, while my mom was asleep, my lung collapsed. I couldn't breathe, and after they ensured that oxygen was put back into my lungs, my mom nearly fainted, or she did faint.
I did.
And all I could say was, "Help my mom!" I mean, it was fun.
I thought you were dying.
I'm sorry.
She always does this. Sick, twisted jokes.
I know. It's not funny.
No, it's not.
I'm sorry. Recovery was painful and very hard for me. I had to learn to walk again. I remember being in so much pain as they forced me to walk that I threw a blue ring pop all over the hallways, all over my nurse's shoes. I spent several months in a wheelchair. I was away from my brothers and my puppy for weeks. When I finally got to go home, something happened. My back hurt and it smelled. I was allergic to the sutures used in my surgery. Hundreds of stitches just festered and forced their way out as my body rejected them. I was rehospitalized. I spent a total of 2 months in the hospital due to the spinal surgery and the complications related to the suture dehiscence.
There are several truths that parents, dare I say it, particularly mothers of chronically ill children, have to hide away from the rest of the world. There are so many things that I have wanted to shout out, but I've kept hidden in order to not offend another human. Excuse me for 1 second.
Oh, here we go.
The Elephant Man did not have neurofibromatosis. He had Proteus syndrome, a completely different thing. Back in 1997, the science was behind, and it was evolving, as science does. To this day, very few practitioners and nurses know about neurofibromatosis. And what they do know is typically outdated. I still hear, "Oh, you poor thing, she has the Elephant Man disease." Drives me nuts.
Oh, you poor thing.
She's so beautiful now.
So sad that one day she'll be completely deformed.
I know, Mom. Elephant Man, entirely different. While I have some deformities, they don't define me at all. Besides, who out here is perfect? Anyone?
You? Anyone? None of us are. Do you know how often I've heard,
You are so strong.
I don't know how you do it.
Truth? I don't know how we've done it. I don't remember half of this life that we're telling you about because the stress has been so much at times that it's like my brain has been wiped clean, like the hard drive of a computer. Like shit was never there. Like it never happened. Aside from the individual memories of the good times that are missing, there are times that I look back and I think to myself, how did I do all of that? How did I lug 3 children to a city 5 hours away? How did I single-handedly carry all 3 of their sleepy little heavy bodies and their luggage up 4 flights of stairs at the Ronald McDonald House? How could I leave my twin sons alone with a volunteer in the hospital clinic waiting room while I held Brianna's hand through her often painful testing? I would never leave my 6-year-old Jace alone with a stranger. How could I do that with my older sons? I had no other choice. I feel like I am drowning almost every day. I put on a fake smile to protect others from the horrific fear and pain that we have. I tend to isolate myself. No matter how many times I'm offered help, I always feel alone because I was alone. Someone had to take Bree to her appointments. Someone had to work. Someone had to be strong. Years of isolation add up. I secretly suffer from depression, and sometimes it's severe.
Did you know that there's a high rate of attempted suicide among mothers of chronically ill children? Did you know that I saved my mother's life?
She did. At one point, the circumstances in my life were so overwhelming that I attempted to give up. I don't ever want you to think that it was because of you, because never was it because of you.
I know.
But it was Bree who stopped me from ending my life. We fight together, but sometimes one of us has to take the lead. In that instant, she fought for me because even mothers need someone to fight for them. We're not perfect, and we are not invisible. Seven years old. Let me repeat that. 7 years old. Diaper time. This is what she likes to call diaper time. A 7-year-old has to have a surgery that lasts long enough for her surgeons to have to diaper up. And I have to sit in the waiting room and wait for them to come out and tell me if she's survived. I've sat alone for literally hundreds of hours waiting to find out if she would walk again. 12 surgeries so far. The longest was the 18-hour spinal fusion. Bree and I arrived at 4 a.m. for her surgery. Lots of time for people watching, I guess. I'm the caregiver. And all I'm going to say is that I've always been so jealous of the other parents in the hospital waiting rooms, you know, the ones who are holding each other up as they anxiously waited to hear if their child survived surgery.
Look at this. This is nice. Cold coffee and cheap snacks. Such a thoughtful gift for parents who are already losing their minds.
With all this money donated to this hospital, you think that offers something better?
Oh my God, I know.
Look at these seats. Really, you really expect me to sit here for an hour and a half? There must be a private waiting room somewhere.
Waiting for an hour and a half. Tough times. The seating's fine. It's cushioned. And so is his fat, privileged ass. I took the chairs so that you guys can have the big couch. It's just me, so please.
Who is she?
Okay. I'm human. I can't and don't always wear my mask of positivity. It's sometimes difficult to have compassion for people who don't appreciate the gifts that they're given. Be thankful that there's coffee, snacks, and couches to sit on. Show gratitude to the nurse liaison who provides updates to every single parent sitting in here. And remember that that news is not always good. He's an empath and a healer, and he feels the pain, the fear, the anxiety, and the trauma of the entire waiting room.
Keep going and going.
Be nice, Jana. They're experiencing their own trauma.
It's going to be all right. It has to be. The surgeon is confident that he can fix Sean's leg. He'll be back on the field in no time. He's going to keep his scholarship. He has to.
I can't imagine what this is like for the parents of kids struggling with a lifetime of illness. I could never get used to doing this. I feel so badly for the ones that are here alone.
We never do. It's not something you can get used to. No matter the type or how long the procedure. That's what it's called. Oh, thank you. The surgeons refer to it as procedure, and I suppose it's a much more civilized way of saying cutting open your child and taking out and fixing the broken parts. The painful black and white arrogance of surgeons. Thank God for the nurses. They see the whole picture. The nurses feel the pain and the stress of the parents in the waiting area. Sometimes it's too much to bear. Waiting to hear if my 7-year-old has survived surgery, if she's alive, if she will walk again, if they got all the cancer out of her body. Waiting to hear the words.
Charlie Brown teacher, Charlie Brown teacher, Charlie Brown teacher. She's out of surgery. She's waking up and waiting to see you in recovery. Charlie Brown teacher, Charlie Brown teacher, Charlie Brown teacher.
Actually, no matter what they say, all I hear is, she's not dead. Experiences like that do thicken your skin, but it is never something you can get used to. Hey, Bree. Do you remember when your brothers first realized how hard NF is for you?
Yeah, wasn't it after my spinal fusion?
Yep. They were 6 years old.
Yeah.
6. Prior to this time, Robert and Brandon were sometimes jealous of the time that Brianna and I spent away together. They were 6. We tried to protect them from the negativity and the fear. The twins really didn't understand what was happening to Bree or to me.
I would come home with these autographs and stories about meeting famous sports players or celebrities while in the hospital. Even though I always asked for an autograph for my brothers, they still got nothing. They missed out on that experience.
The boys didn't realize that it wasn't all fun and games. They knew that I was away with their sister, missing out on their Little League games, their band concerts, their time with Mommy. They were 6, and I was gone for weeks at a time.
I remember that they came to visit me in the hospital after my spinal fusion. I was in so much pain. My lung collapsed. I nearly died, but all I cared about was getting the nurses to help throw them a surprise party. They were 6. I was 8. I had to learn to walk again, and I saw how afraid they were to hug me on their birthday. I didn't want them to be afraid. I didn't want to ruin their birthday. I just wanted them to be happy.
The nursing staff and the child life specialists were amazing, remember?
Mm-hmm.
They filled Brianna's room with balloons for the boys. They brought in a cake for them. They even had the hospital clowns make a surprise visit, which they loved and she hated because she's deathly afraid of clowns.
I wouldn't say deathly.
You don't like them. Creepy.
It wasn't until I was discharged home that they really realized what was happening to me, which is what I wanted. This is when my back became infected. I was allergic to the hundreds of stitches used to close my incisions. I couldn't hide it from them anymore. And I saw how it really affected them. They would hold my hand as I removed the sutures and provided wound care for my incisions. I would scream and cry. They cried with me.
I remember going to that follow-up visit and having to take the boys with us because I didn't have anybody to watch them. I was so stressed. I remember them laying on the carpeted floor of the waiting room, and they were drawing pictures of Spider-Man. They're such good little artists.
Still are.
It seemed like forever. I remember being so nervous about how they were going to behave in the exam room. They were anxious 6-year-old boys. They were off the fucking wall.
I want to sit up there. How come Nani gets to sit up there?
No,
it's my turn.
I want to go up, Robert.
No.
You always get to go first.
No, let me try.
Oh, cool, a scale.
Oh, let me try, Brandon. My turn.
No, I got it first.
Whoa.
Whoa,
Cool
so
picture.
cool. Wait, is that Nani?
Let me see.
Robert, move over. I can't see.
Are those nails in her bones? Does that stuff stay inside her forever?
Huh.
Do you have to cut her open again?
Poor Nani. That is when they realize that she is in pain every day. The boys have been her protectors and advocates ever since.
The doctor taught my mom how to remove the sutures and how to care for my now open spinal fusion as my brothers watched. And again, they cried with me. This is when my mom realized that she needed to become a nurse.
Yes. I became a nurse.
And I am so thankful for it. And I'm sure others are, even those who are non-compliant. But hey, every time I say thank you or I'm sorry, that's me wearing my mask.
Me too. Speaking of phrases, in case y'all didn't know, parents of sick children cannot stand the phrase, let's use these. God only gives you what you can handle. Seriously?
Seriously?
Do you think that phrase is calming? Seriously?
We feel like the weight of the world is upon us.
We live in constant fear of the unknown.
A life of chronic anxiety.
And that's the go-to advice everyone seems to want to give.
And I just want to scream
I
that.
can't fucking handle.
Okay, I was going to say the PG version.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I know I have a mouth. That phrase doesn't give us resolve.
It cuts us like a knife, and until this moment,
I've never shared these feelings. I just continue to wear my mop and glow smile.
And go on pretending like life is perfect.
I mean,
isn't it?
Life is good, right?
The truth?
The truth. If I believed that God would give me something that I could handle, He would have given it to me and not to her. Where are we going? I forgot. You did. You guys are getting paid by the hour, aren't you?
They're just speedy. I'll give you a tip.
No tips. No tips.
I mean, a word of advice.
Thank you. Oh, I see. That kind of tip. 10 years. Are we blocking it over here with the gurney? Yeah. Brianna's left wrist began to dislocate. It was a cool little party trick, right, Brandon? She had so much pain in her arm and her hand, and to determine if the nerves would tolerate surgery, the doctor stuck a long needle into her wrist and then injected some medication. She screamed in pain.
I said I hated my doctor.
She did.
To his face.
I was happy because this meant that she was a candidate for the wrist stabilization surgery.
Mom, where's the hype posse when I need them?
Hi, posse!
Hype posse!
Come on, move it a little
Where's
faster.
your weights? You
Don't
got your
forget
weights?
your weights? You got your weights. Good. Make sure you hold them up high. Hold them up higher. Hold them up higher.
I live with this every single day,
Come
so
on.
let's go.
This isn't the CrossFit Games. Get it up.
Okay.
Up, up, up.
Here we go. 12 years. 3 pounds of tumor removed from my upper left arm. Drop. I said drop. It went really well, and I was happy. You slacker up. Thank you.
13 years. 3 more pounds of tumor removed from her forearm. Brianna suffered from complex regional nerve pain syndrome. Rain, wind, her clothing, everything hurt her arm. Brianna was unable to tolerate touch. She was in pain, and in more pain than ever before. After weeks in the hospital, finally a medication and a medical treatment that included occupational and physical therapy, she was able to go home. She continued to have pain, but at least at this point, it was a pain that she could handle.
14 years. My parents just divorced.
Yep,
That's okay. And malignant peripheral. Did I say it right?
You said peripheral.
I know how to say my own cancer. Look at me.
She's learning.
Nerve sheath tumor, or MPNST, as I like to say.
Cancer. You know, the one I was talking about earlier that they never told us we needed to watch from when she was 2 years old? That one.
The MPNST was found in my left chest wall. I remember laying in bed next to my mom. She didn't say a word. She just began to cry.
I never cry in front of her. I cry in the car, I cry in the side of the road, I cry in the shower, but never in front of her.
I instantly knew that I had cancer. The tumor was removed. They had to take out muscle on my left side of my chest, along with the muscles in my breast wall. So yes, they were just developing, and now they're all looking at them. Look at that.
Stop looking at
But it's
her
okay.
chest.
I mean, they weren't that big to look at anyway, so.
I thought you were going to die.
I'm sorry.
Everyone thought you were going to die.
I'm sorry.
Skip back to the timeline.
Okay.
16 years. According to statistics, she should not have survived cancer the first time. Now, she has it again in 2 other places at the same time. Stop! I'm sorry. I can't do this. 2 malignant peripheral nerve sheath tumors. 1 diagnosed in her left axilla or armpit, and 1 at her cervical spine at C4. Both tumors and the surrounding tissue needed to be resected. Right up here. We've talked about death. We've had conversations about what her wishes are when the time comes. We were...
Sweet 16 dress shopping.
Yes, that's right. Sweet 16 dress shopping. The first time we talked about her funeral arrangements.
We spent the day together. We had lunch.
We did. Do any of you know how difficult it is to buy a Sweet 16 dress for a pageant girl? 127 dresses later.
Oh my gosh.
You know she's going to die soon.
This may be her last dress you buy her.
I remember being so frustrated because I was a size 00 and the smallest size they could find me was a 4. Guess I got what I wished for, right? I wanted to lose some weight, but I remember it like this. I am tired of all the jokes about my weight. I am tired of me not fitting into any of these long sleeve dresses. Hi. I'm sorry.
Which, you want to take one? Both?
Yeah, sure.
They're pretty, right? We'll try them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Nothing here fits. Oh, look. This one's really pretty, right? Is it my size? Nope, it is not. This is not fair. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of NF. I'm sick of not being normal. Before, the doctors told me, oh, Brianna, you need to watch what you eat. You're overweight. And now I'm too skinny for them? I can't do anything right, Mom.
Brie, I know you're frustrated, but this stuff, girls shopping for a dress and not being able to find one, this is normal. You're always complaining that you can't have normal. I'm trying, Brie. We will find your dress. Jesus, if this is this hard, I can't wait to find a wedding gown for you.
That's not funny. I'm not getting married. No one would want to marry me. I mean, who would want to marry some sick, dying girl? I can't even find a dress that will stay on my body. They all just slip off. Look, Mom, what size? Size 6, size 10, size 8. They don't fit.
Stop.
And it's not fair.
Stop.
How about this one?
We'll try
I
it.
like
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
It's really pretty.
Thank you. I am not wearing that.
It's pretty.
Yeah, real pretty. I don't feel pretty. I feel like I shouldn't even have this sweet 16 anyways, Mom. So let's just forget about this stupid
Bree,
party.
you can't cancel. This is your friend's party too, remember? She won't have this party without you.
You're right. She didn't even want a party. I forced her to do this because I wanted her to feel special too.
Oh wait, hey.
Yes,
Are these already
can I-
purchased or are they for sale?
Oh, these are clearance. I don't, if you want something
Can I take
clearance,
this one?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
I definitely want this one. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Can we get some help?
Thank you. Oh, can she try that one on, please? And there it was. A bridal dress. It was on the clearance rack. It was exactly what she was looking for. Sort of. It was a size 4. Elegant, a modern day Audrey Hepburn style, long, white, with a train, a halter top, and an imperial collar. It was still too big, but we found her dress. Well, what do you think?
It's beautiful.
Can you try it on?
Thank you.
Of course. Didn't I tell you we'd find your dress?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that smile.
I know. I love it. I finally get to live my modern Audrey Hepburn fantasy. You know what? It reminds me of something from, what is that movie she was in? Close. Breakfast
it's your
at
grandma's
Tiffany's.
favorite movie.
Breakfast at Tiffany's. Maybe I put it-
We'll take it. If you can get it ready for
Of
purchase,
course.
we'll meet you at the counter.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for all of your help.
Thank you.
Of course.
Mom had to make some major alterations to the dress. By the time my sweet 16 arrived, it was still too big. I just continued to lose weight. But I loved it.
She looked beautiful, of course. But I could think of only 2 things. One, how thin she was. Her ribs stuck out like the bars of a xylophone. 2, is this it? Is this the closest I will ever get to buying her a wedding gown?
5'5", 100 pounds. But it wasn't like I was trying to lose weight. My doctors accused me of having an eating disorder, but little did they know it was the cancer that was eating me alive.
After finding the perfect shoes, tiara, jewelry, chicken cutlets
Mom,
to create the illusion
stop.
of...
I make the breast jokes, not you.
Well, you needed them.
You didn't.
Points for Brianna.
Anyway, I remember the car ride home, listening to music, singing, trying to laugh as much as we could, but there was an elephant in the room.
Car.
Elephant man.
Not funny.
Sorry. I remember turning down the radio.
And I was so afraid of what she was about to say.
So, Mom, when you die, do you want to be buried?
I want to be cremated.
Oh.
Really, because I don't want to take up any more space on this planet. But it's really up to you and your brothers to decide. It's not gonna matter much to me at that point, right?
True.
But you guys, you should tell me what it is that you want. Funerals are for everyone else. It doesn't matter much after you're dead, you know?
Yeah. I don't want to be buried.
No.
I don't know. Something about the thought of just being put in the ground really bothers me.
Your great aunt had the same problem.
And besides, I don't want to take up space either. Think of all the homeless shelters that could be built instead of all of these cemeteries. We need a more, how do I say this, eco-friendly way of disposing dead bodies. But still giving, people that place to mourn.
You are not wrong. There are so many.
I also don't want some depressing funeral and piss-smelling flowers, because have you ever noticed that? All the flowers just combined just reek of cat pee.
Oh my God, I thought I was the only one that thought that.
Nope. I want lots of funny pictures, jokes, and fun music. I want people laughing and thinking about the fun times we've shared together. Mom?
Yeah?
I really love my dress. And thank you. I'm sorry.
Can you picture that? You just spent the day finding the perfect dress for your sweet 16-year-old princess, and that's the topic at the end of the day. All I could think about was, is she trying to tell me that this is the dress that she wants to wear for her funeral?
But that's our reality.
She wants me to promise that I'll go on and I will never give up when she's gone. I don't know how I'll do that, to be honest. She keeps me going. She's been my lifeline, and I'll be honest, as I told you, she is the reason that I am still breathing to this day. There have been so many times where my heart is just not strong enough to take any more pain or any more sadness. No more sadness.
No more.
Post-surgery, Brianna had difficulty swallowing, breathing, and speaking. She had left vocal fold paralysis. She lost her voice. She couldn't speak. She couldn't eat. For her, the worst part, she lost the ability to sing. But she was alive.
Singing is my only escape.
I'm sorry.
It's the only normalcy I have and the only thing that I'm known for besides being that sick girl.
I'm sorry.
And it is more than just losing my ability to sing. I use my voice to further my passion of providing education about awareness for NF, and now it's gone. I had speech therapy for 6 months before my voice came back. That was only after I was able to practice swallowing solid foods like ground turkey, which was not seasoned. Don't try it. But after about a year, I began to sing again.
I'm sorry.
17 to 18 years, I decided to start a clinical trial of cabozantinib. These chemotherapies are so hard to say, but it's a form of chemotherapy. The treatment began to work. However, it also began to cause damage to my kidneys and cause my blood pressure to increase. Remember, I already have high blood pressure, So the medication that was working to shrink my tumors was posing serious health risks, including a stroke. I had to stop the treatment, and within weeks of stopping, what do you think happened? Hey, posse, let's show, please. Get ready to lift 9 pounds. I experienced significant rebound growth of the tumors in my left arm, meaning my tumors grew back larger than they were before starting the chemotherapy. And my little brother Jace, whose name means healer, was born.
19 to 20 years. I get remarried to a man who literally saved me while at work. He took on the loves of my family and is devoted to Bree. We both needed him. Despite Bree's last experience with complex regional nerve pain syndrome, Brianna decided to have this new tumor growth operated on again. She had yet another 3 pounds, go ahead, you can
drop 3, please, thank you,
of tumor removed from her upper left arm. That red face.
21 years. The day before my 21st birthday, to be exact, during a PET scan, it was discovered that I have a nodule in my thyroid. This indicates malignancy or cancer. While this nodule is small, I think about it every day. It's another thing in my throat that could cause me to lose my voice, so the only normalcy in my life. Unfortunately, because I just love to be a rare gem, it's too small to be biopsied, so we have to leave it in my throat until it grows larger to biopsy it. So even now, I'm 25, remember 21 when we found it, it's still there. I just feel like a time bomb. I'm sorry, you can keep playing. Actually, I'm sorry, can you wait a second? Thank you. Sorry. To add insult to injury, at that same PET scan I had the day after my birthday, I was informed that I could have bone cancer, which thankfully we ruled out that I don't have bone cancer, but it was still scary. On a day where I should be out drinking and partying, singing karaoke with my friends, I get told I have a time bomb in my throat and something that could just disintegrate my bones even further. It's not fair. I'm sorry.
22 years. Brianna is understandably frustrated with her tumor growth, continued pain, and frequent dislocation of her left shoulder and elbow. She approached her physicians and decided to talk to them about her desire for amputation of her left arm as an option to treatment. Brianna met with plastic surgery, orthopedic oncology, and it was discovered that Brianna's skin integrity was so poor that she was not a candidate for further surgery. Brianna's only alternative was to start another clinical trial of a chemotherapy that may or may not help shrink her tumors, decrease her pain, and improve the quality of her life.
I'm sorry, Brandon. Can you stop? I am missing out on the things that I wish I could do. Some nights I cry myself to sleep because I am in so much pain. I am always stressed about letting my family down because I don't want them to think I'm faking, being overdramatic, or just overthinking. Some of my friends never understand why I don't go out with them or why I cancel plans last minute. So what do? I say, I'm fine. When a lot of the time, I'm really not.
Jace, can you say neurofibromatosis?
Yes, neurofibromatosis.
And what is it?
Like a tumor on your head, or tumor on your arm, or tumor on your leg.
Exactly.
Or in right here.
On your back?
Mm-hmm.
You're so smart, buddy. Say, let's NNF.
NNF.
Ready? Neuro. Fibromatosis. Now we're all going to say it together, like cheerleaders, right? I know we are all cheerleaders in here. Let's go. Neuro. Fibromatosis.
Oh, you have to join in.
Neurofibromatosis.
You're a small crowd, but you got more power than that. Let's hear it.
Neuro.
There we go.
Fibromatosis.
Yay! Thank you. Hard to say?
It's even harder to live with. That used to be our slogan. I have neurofibromatosis type 1, or NF.
NF1.
For short. It's a genetic disorder that affects 1 in every 3,000 births. I was born with this disorder, and I'm a spontaneous mutation. Sounds like a cool X-Men character, right? I mean, it's kind of true. I'm a mutant. Like I told you at the beginning of the play when I said foreshadowing, mutant. The only one in my family to have NF1.
Thank you.
NF causes tumors to grow along the nerves of the body. NF can lead to blindness, deafness, bone disfigurement, hypertension, loss of limbs, cancer, and premature death.
I'm a cockroach. She really hates when I say that.
Really?
But no, really. Most people don't survive the things that I've been through. And as much as I joke, I know that life with neurofibromatosis isn't all that funny. You see, at any time, my heart can just stop and bleed out.
The years of high blood pressure have already damaged her heart.
I could die in my sleep. And it's not even that I'm afraid of dying. I just don't want to leave my family behind. What is my family going to do if I die? Will they survive? There are days where I feel like I'm in a circus. I'm just another freak in a freak show.
Oh, you shouldn't have children.
You look too healthy to have tumors.
Why not just chop it all off?
You know, they could do that with tumors.
If that were true with mine.
Is this deadly?
Just pray and be positive. Positive energy will make them go away.
There's a magic cream that can make your tumors fall off.
Not to be rude, but
can you just give us some space?
Mentally and physically, I have enough scrambling on in my head, and I don't need your knowledge too. People stare, and they stare, and they stare every time I go out in public. I can't even go shopping or on vacation without someone wanting to just stop and look at my arm. Some people ask rude questions. Some even ask to pet my arm. My doctors don't know how to help me, and it is just overwhelming and overexhausting to live in the fear of the unknown. Sometimes I just want it to all stop. I don't want you to pity me. However, it feels like my disorder has taken everything from me. Neurofibromatosis. You have taken my sanity, my quality of life, my ability to work, the muscle and tissue in my body, my blood, my
my
sweat,
my
my
tears, my friends, my relationships. It didn't take away your 4.0.
But it did, because it's only a 3.97.
Jesus Christ.
Mom, you're crazy. But it's as if my tumors are just eating me alive. So are you going to take my life too? But if you do, at least I won't be in pain anymore, right? I'm sorry. That was selfish of me to say. I'm sorry. But I hate to break it to you because I'm alive, right? And at least that tumor that I just recently had removed, Richard is what I called it, is dead.
Do you always have to make jokes when we're being serious?
I'm sorry. Can we do some, like, let it go burn therapy now?
Ooh, burn therapy, yeah. Dear Neurofibromatosis, there have been so many moments in my life where I have secretly hidden away and cried by myself because of what you have done to my family. And as I said, most of my crying is done in the car because I don't ever want to burden my daughter with my stupid whining. How dare I cry? She is so strong. I have to be strong for her, but the reality is, just like Brianna, I wear a mask. My mask is to protect Brianna and to deflect others from getting through to my true feelings because I can't ever break. The truth is, I'm broken inside.
NF, you have hurt my brothers, Robert, Brandon, Jace, and Justin. I don't know how they would function if I die. Not getting to see Robert and Brandon become successful, maybe get married, and continue life without me, it breaks my heart. And if you kill me, I won't get to see Jace and Justin grow up. Justin's face lights up every time he sees me. And Jace tells everyone that he's healing me, and to know that I am dead, it would crush their poor hearts. This would hurt them forever. You would hurt them forever.
NF, you have taken so much from me. There are superficial things in my life that don't really matter. I'd give them up 1,000 times in order to make her healthy. Like giving up my once upon a time dream of becoming an actress and installing my independence. That shit is meaningless. You see, you don't get a second chance at raising children and at life. And if my boys didn't have their mother, not the way they should have, I think about the nights that they slept away from me and how they must have been so frightened. And I think of them having bad dreams and just wanting to snuggle up with mommy because I couldn't be there because I was 5 hours away in a hospital trying to keep their sister alive. It's no wonder they still have night terrors to this day. Now, Jace sleeps with me every night.
Jace is such an empath.
They are afraid that their sister is going to die. And if you have hurt all of my children, Jace sees her hurting and he always comforts her. All of my boys have to live in constant fear that today may be the last day that they see or hear from her. This is one of the reasons Brianna and I take photos before all of her surgeries. Dan man took on the challenge of 3 teenage children, knowing that she was sick. He stood by us, and it breaks his heart every time we leave. The man stands crying in our driveway as we pull away.
He likes to act like he's this big, tough, strong man, and he is, but he is such a mush.
NF, you have burned us all. NF, one of the worst ways that you have affected me is by eroding away my existence and making me invisible. NF, you made me forget the most beautiful moments of my life.
NF, look what you've done to my poor mom. Sometimes I fight for me, and sometimes I fight for her because we live for one another. I remember one night I woke up crying for my mom. When I called for her, she didn't answer. I knew something was wrong because my mom always slept with me. I climbed out of my bed and heard crying from the bathroom. I quickly pushed open the door to find my mom sitting on the toilet holding a razor. This moment is something I think about often. I cried and I told her that she couldn't leave because if she were dead, then I'd be dead too. Would she die of a broken heart, or would she try to kill herself again because the loss of a child is just so painful and so unimaginable? That united front that we've stubbornly presented was finally won by you. We've talked about death. And I always tell my mom that if or when I die, she best keep on fighting. Because when it was her turn to fight for me, she fought for me. And our family will always need her to fight for them too. But here's the truth. My mom has spent her whole life fighting for me against you. And if I'm dead, it would be because I failed her and that you won. That I wasn't strong enough to fight you anymore. And I just want them all to be happy, but with you, NF, every day, every morning is a gift that you didn't give me. Neurofibromatosis. You're not easy to say, but you're not easy or fun to live with either.
What is unconditional love? How do you love people like Brianna or myself? There is an ever-present weight pressing on people like us, or anyone who has experienced the trauma of monumental death. A negativity and an emptiness that always lingers, no matter how hard we try to keep our chin up or wear our mask of positivity. My greatest fear: losing one of my children. This is something I've had to force myself to come to terms with. At least try to. It stems from the fact that I lost my nephew when he was just 3 years old. It devastated me. I was 18, and he was my little buddy. We never got an actual cause for his death. It was almost 30 years ago, and it still pains me as if it were today. 30 years ago, I was just 18, graduating high school, and childless at the time. However, I distinctly remember the day that that little blonde hair boy lay in a casket that couldn't have been more than 3 feet long, laying in a suit that I helped to pick out for him. No wonder I thought her sweet 16 dress would be what she wanted to wear in her own casket. That day, I made it my personal vow to always protect my children, no matter the cost, to always put their needs before my own. Mikey, my nephew, he was mine, and I was his. He was not only my little buddy, but there was an unknowable connection between us. When Brianna was born, that thread of love that I lost with him, it grew into something that has no words to explain its importance. Parent-to-child love is the truest and, quite honestly, the most important love that there is. By loving our children fully and unconditionally, we provide for them the foundation of what it is to be human, which is love. We teach them empathy, and we give them hope.
The love my mother and I share is truly indescribable. But I know the love that she felt for Mikey because I feel it with my little brother Jace. I don't ever want to break him. And that connects me more with my mother, and that I love. But what does it mean to love a person with a chronic illness? In my case, it's important to understand that my NF is more than what it looks like. Some people don't even notice my tumors. I have days where I can hardly walk because I'm in so much pain. So I want reassurance that they won't leave because my disorder is just too much for them to handle. People leave. And this is not me whining, it's that people I thought and had promised that they wouldn't leave, left. In answer to the question, I need someone that allows me to take off my mask.
Things people who love us have to deal with. Brianna takes chemotherapy twice a day. The first ever FDA-approved treatment for neurofibromatosis, which didn't exist when we started writing this play 2 years ago. Prior to this, she was on 2 clinical trials of drugs which we knew little about. We live in constant fear of what is going to go wrong next. Keeping all 4 of my children healthy, empowering them to make good decisions, and ensuring that they have all that it takes to succeed while juggling to keep Brianna alive has been my primary goal for as long as I can remember.
Well, I hate to break it to you, Mom, but your stubbornness isn't going to let me die. And besides, I was born a fighter.
The thought of her taking her last breath erodes my soul. Every single day I'm asked, and typically more than once, how is Brianna doing? And I always smile and give some combination of, she's doing well, staying strong as always. She's so tough. She's a fighter. But if I told the complete truth, what I would say instead, she's tired. She had difficulty getting out of bed today and on most days. She didn't want to eat today. When I checked her before I left for work this morning, she was still breathing. That's a thing I do. I check her every morning and sometimes throughout the night when she's asleep, like you do with a newborn. I check to make sure she's still breathing. I've done this every day since the day she was born. 25 years.
9,126 years and counting, to be
Days?
exact. Oh, days. I said years.
Days.
I'm not a vampire. That I am not.
9,126 days of worrying that I am going to wake up to find that my child has died in her sleep. That's the thing with NF. You either die of cancer and you know you're going to die because there's nothing more they can do, or death just sneaks up. Recently, Jace, my littlest guy, he has his own ritual of checking on his sister that mirrors my own. And I am so petrified in the morning when he beats me to her room. NF patients have complications with their cardiovascular system.
Most of the people we knew who have died from NF have been sudden, unexpected cardiac events that just happened in the middle of the night. The fighter in me will never, ever let Jace find me that way.
This fighter has survived 3 malignant peripheral nerve sheath tumors, or neurosarcomas. The survival rate for one is 34%. This fighter has high blood pressure since she's 2 years old. The nurse in me worries about the effect that this lifelong high blood pressure has on the walls of her heart. How long can her heart continue to handle the stress? People who love us have to understand this question. How long can her body continue to handle the stress? And what will I do if I outlive her? She has been the light of my life, and she has kept me going. She's the love of my life. My own death, it doesn't frighten me. I am terrified of not being here to take care of her, of not being here to protect my children, and of not being able to keep them safe, and not being able to keep that personal vow I made 30 years ago to Mikey. I suppose, just like with NF, we never know what tomorrow will bring. I have to make the best of today, right? Make her today as amazing as I can possibly make it, and teach my children every day how to care for themselves and each other. I have to keep up hope. But what would the world be like without Brianna? A light would go out. And not just for our family, but for so many around the world. Brianna has touched so many lives. She inspires everywhere she goes. She has a following of other NF patients that we lovingly call NFers, who look to her for inspiration.
her death will be a painful shock to literally thousands of people. And I fear that the pain that she lives with every single day will never compare to the pain that will pierce the hearts of so many when she's gone. For me, that will be an eternal pain that will never subside.
Well, to sum up, there will be a quiz after this performance. So where is my best hype posse? Let's bring them out.
Oh, thank you.
That was smooth.
It's pretty good like that.
Because of my NF1, is everybody ready? I've had to have 3 spinal fusions, 3 tumor debulkings, 3 cancerous tumors removed, and 1 little non-cancerous tumor I to call Richard. Or shall I say Dick?
Dick.
Dick.
Want to say it too?
Dick.
I've had several joint dislocations, even in the middle of parking lots while holding my laptop. I live with learning disabilities, live in chronic, severe pain. I was part of 2 clinical studies, hoping that my kidneys wouldn't fail. When we wear our masks most, it's definitely around the people
that we love. I'm going to have a drink.
Your coffee soda thing?
Coffee soda. I need the energy.
Fancy.
Thank you so much. Have a seat, bud.
Come join me. Where's my crew? So, there's a very small group of people who I fully open up to, besides my mom. That includes this one over here, too.
He's hanging out with me right now.
What's funny is this small group of people just recently came into my life, about a year and a half ago. The friendships I have with you is unlike anything I've had with anyone else. I feel that we complete each other perfectly. You're the friends that I didn't know I needed or that I didn't know I deserved. You all see me for me and you see past my mask, which is something I needed. But what's funny is I wear my mask most around the people I love, but until meeting you all, I didn't know that taking my mask down was what I needed to do. Because it makes me feel safe when I'm with you. You've all become my family, and I love you all, and I'm proud of you. As I've said, I do put a mask on to protect the ones I love, and that includes my brothers. Mom and I feel like we've took so much from them growing up. When I was supposed to be the big protective sister, though NF has made our lives difficult, I do feel that it has strengthened my relationships with my brothers. I'm so lucky to have, younger, older brothers who want to protect me in their own ways. They have grown into such inspiring men, and they're just so hardworking. It's scary for me to tell them the truth at times. Here's why. A lot of people ask me what I'm most afraid of about my disorder, or if I'm afraid I'm going to die. And it's not that I'm afraid of my body dying, it's that I'm afraid of how my family would react if I were ever to be gone. That's what I'm afraid of. And it's the truth. But now, I am on the best chemotherapy ever.
Who says that?
Yeah.
True.
Oh.
Along with thank you, I'm sorry, and I'm fine.
Hi, Pussy Rose!
Oh, yay, let's roast Brianna.
Oh, here we go.
Hey!
The worst.
We gotta
N-word
roast that
ever.
instead of me. That was an epic fail.
It's like a squeak opposed to a horn.
All right, let's hear my friends tease
Get
me.
it. I wanted a frozen
Uh-huh.
matcha, but they gave me an ice, but I don't want to go back inside because I don't want to bother them again.
Maybe. Listen, he won't be hosting a pageant anytime soon, that's for sure.
Ooh, I got one. Bree once said, I fainted at work today and I'm still feeling a little dizzy, but I want a Coke, so let's walk around the whole school and see if we can find a vending machine that actually works.
I fell on my face, but I didn't break anything. Just needed 4 stitches.
And the Coke was always in the fridge in the back.
You just got to put $1. Don't forget.
You got one?
Yeah, let's go to Bath and Body Works to get our fall collection on candles, guys. You like to live, laugh, love on, yeah.
You should've seen
No,
the
I
last
don't,
week.
but I'm sure you do.
Love you, Bree.
Love you too. All right, can I go now? Thank you.
Yeah.
So everything they're saying is true, and so is the thing about my chemotherapy. But what's funny is every person who's asked me about my chemotherapy has asked me the same thing. Were you nervous about starting chemotherapy? And I never realized how much I put on this facade to protect others around me and, of course, myself. So my answer, thank you. I'm fine.
I'm fine. Just gonna go to the bathroom.
I'll be okay. I'll be okay.
That's me.
I haven't used the bathroom all day, but I'll walk you to your car first.
Safety first.
I only had 4 stitches, but I'm fine.
It's true, I'm alive. But the truth, of course I was nervous about starting chemotherapy because if it doesn't work, we don't know if I would survive. NF can lead to blindness, but apparently so can chemotherapy. I am not going blind, but I do have some vision changes in my eyes. Throw up every few days. In fact, fun story. I threw up on my first date with my current boyfriend over here, and he still likes me, I hope. Oh.
I'm watching you.
Besides that, my joints stay still, hurt and dislocate. But with all of that going on, I get judged if I park in an accessible parking space.
Those are for people who need it, not you. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm more scared than I have been in a long time. Wouldn't you be? Before starting chemotherapy, I was going to have my arm amputated. It took a moment, but I wanted them to take it off. No one was going to change my mind. But only to find that my skin would not heal if I did go through with the surgery. So I just mentally prepared myself to lose an arm, and now I'm being told that this isn't an option for me. I just feel like I'm sitting here waiting to die. So if you amputate my arm, I could die of an infection. So I'm being told to just wait and die. That's why we decided to write this story and are here performing it for you today. We thought I was going to die. So I still have to live my life in fear and live with that specter of the unknown, and it's just a part of my existence, but I can't really live my life to the fullest. I can't go on family vacations where I'm not in fear of someone bumping into my arm. But I guess what I can say is, have no fear, the mutant cockroach is here. Those of you who really love and know me, you all have to put up with my great jokes, right? I have the best dad jokes sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I say sometimes because...
Sometimes.
So no more sadness, okay? I will always be your annoying mutant cockroach with a California raisin, or Steve Harvey, I guess, kidney, no golf ball tonsils, and no more appendix, too. Let's just add that to the list.
And no more dick.
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 You could all say it, too.
Oh. Thanks.
Oh my, if you have kids, they can get that too. I hope you never have kids.
That's what the waiter said to me after asking about my NF. Who says that?
Shouldn't have kids.
That's my choice to make. I don't want to biologically have children. But if I do, you bet I would teach them how to treat individuals with disabilities. Cheers.
Cheers.
Now we're gonna get a little deep and comfortable. Okay.
You're scaring me.
I was never one to date. You can ask my brothers.
Oh, this is what you call deep?
Yes,
Okay.
because I don't ever talk about this stuff.
Okay.
I thought NF was hard enough on my family. Till one day, I saw this goofy bass player on stage, and I knew right then and there I was in trouble. I was walking in, we made eye contact. He tried to come say hi, and I avoided him at all costs until I met you.
Turn around.
One night he cornered me, and I knew that if I walked away, it would have been so awkward and obvious that I was trying to avoid him. But I'm glad I stayed, because I wouldn't be in the happy relationship that I am in today. 2 years now, and this is a man I don't wear my mask around. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm waiting.
Oh, yeah. I guess he loves me. I mean, he shrugged his shoulders before, so who knows?
They are perfect for each other. Nauseatingly perfect.
Okay.
It's true. It is something that I've always hoped for her. And truthfully, I was afraid I would never see.
Like we discussed, I'm not going to have children, at least not biologically. So you don't need to rush anything. Got it?
Got it. Hey, Brianna.
Yeah?
Fuck that waiter. And Sparky, I'm too young to be a grandma.
Anyways, no kids. NF is a constant unknown, but things are looking up right now. And I am telling you this without my mask.
Let's just get rid of them.
I was the 2020 National Ambassador for the Children's Tumor Foundation, and I'm still so honored and proud to say that. Now I am part of the Children's Tumor Foundation's Junior Board, where I get to continue my advocacy work and one day becoming a motivational speaker if I can not stumble over my words. I am the reigning Miss New York International, where I get to continue my advocacy work and showcase NF and the need to find a cure.
She always leaves out A.
The experimental treatment, as I said, was FDA approved, and I am still on it. still have pain, still struggle with the side effects of chemotherapy, but hey, ready goes science, because it's working.
Because of her dedication, fundraising, and her bravery, Brianna continues to advocate for all persons with rare disorders. She is an advocate for all with special needs, and she is working to eradicate unequal treatment of those who face the challenge of disparity and inequity.
But I couldn't do it without you. I mean, she is my chauffeur. I don't drive to Boston.
I'm
kidding. I've learned this all from you.
She continues chemotherapy.
She attends functions raising enough awareness, addresses the Food and Drug Administration in the middle of a pandemic in Washington, D.C. about the importance of finding a cure.
Is about to graduate with a master's in school counseling and inspires others everywhere she goes. Woo, woo, woo.
I think I'm getting an update.
Is it Steve Harvey?
I think it is.
Okay.
I was like, but he has the correct information this time.
Okay.
He's saying that since the first PSA 17 years ago, thanks to the help of the Children's Tumor Foundation and the continued donations made by many of you, the FDA has not only passed the first ever treatment for NF1 patients, but now has an FDA-approved treatment for patients with NF2.
That's amazing, right?
So amazing.
Awesome.
NF will never define who I am. I am more than my disorder. I'm me. We will fight for a cure.
All of that original music by Sparky. Thank you to Jessica and Willa up in the booth.
And thank you all.
And thank you all.
Thank you so much, everyone. We are going to allow the actors to get a couple of moments of breath, and then we will have a talk back. You are more than welcome to join us or make your way home, and please be safe and watch for deer. Those of you who are watching virtually, I'm going to stop the stream now. But if you have any comments, you are more than welcome to put them in the chat, or you can email me at jbarkle@sunysullivan.edu, which goes for anybody who has to leave. You can also email me. All right, thank you so much, and please donate to the Children's Tumor Foundation to help fight for a cure. Thank you again.